All right, everyone. So I think we have a good attendance in the room. So maybe, yeah, we shall kick off. So yeah, good morning, everyone, or good afternoon, wherever you are. Um, Hope you are all well. Thank you very much for your time today. It's a pleasure to have you here on the call. My name is Ahmed Javan. I'm the EMEA Marketing Manager for Royal Caribbean. And today we have a very exciting session for you. It's about how to become a social media icon and how to utilize your social media channels in gaining more visibility and growing your business. And with me today, I have a very special guest from our creative agency. Her name is Bex Benol, who will talk us through how to become this social media icon and how to use social media to grow your business. Bex is the business director for Truant London, who is our creative agency and who is working very, very closely with Royal Caribbean. So without further ado, Bex, the floor is yours. Just give me a second to see whether Bex can hear us. Oh,
So it won't let me unmute myself or share my screen. I feel like it's like, yeah, maybe. Let's try to take that. Hi everyone. Turn that off. Sorry, working on two computers. I'm Bex. I work for Truant London, and we are Royal Caribbean's marketing agency. And I've worked on the brand for a number of years now. I'm very passionate about it. And yeah, Ahmed asked me to prepare just a bit of an insights presentation for you guys, basically. And I thought a really interesting topic to talk about would be social media. And I'm no expert on social. I just want to throw that out there now. But I thought it would just be good to kind of take you through some top tips, really, on things I think that you can do to really win on social media. So this is a little bit on the social media landscape today. So on average, people are spending 2.5 hours a day on social media, which really, when you think about a waking day, that is a lot of time. So this is something that's obviously grown a lot over the last 5 to 10 years. So something we should definitely consider when we think about the type of communications and the way that we reach out to people. 43% of consumers look for more information about brands or products and services through social networks. That's massive. So that's basically half of people are going to social media to explore new things. And that's definitely something that I think that we can capitalize a lot when it comes to marketing. 27% of consumers say the number one way that they discover new brands and products is through social media. That's also massive. So I think that's a lot to do with like word of mouth. And when people sort of say to you, oh, I've heard about this new brand, I'm going to explore them. Instead of going to a web page, people will now go to social media to find out more, which again is something that we can absolutely capitalize on. And then 52% of consumers said they've made plans to visit a specific place based on an image or video that they've seen on social. That's also huge. And personally, that's something that I do. You know, I will always do my holiday research on Instagram now. Like I'll find a place, click on the location and do a load of discovery on there. And I think for us, when we're thinking about selling cruise, that's really important that we should remember to tag the ship or tag the location. Because when people are looking at Greece and Odyssey of the Seas comes up, that's really good because that means that Royal Caribbean are front and centre. So what I thought I would do is just put together a few different sources of inspiration, I suppose, of how I think that you guys as agents can win on social media. And I think that we can learn quite a lot from what Royal Caribbean has already done as a brand. So they've actually built an incredibly strong brand. The imagery and the graphical elements really have created an exciting visual world. And along with that playful tone of voice is really recognizable and actually quite different to any other cruise company out there. So this is something that absolutely we need to take when it comes to moving into that social space. What they've also done incredibly well is created and nurtured an audience. And I won't show you here, but when you have some of your own time, have a look on the Royal Caribbean TikTok. It's a really, really good example of how a brand has shone and delivered bite-sized content in a really fun and playful way. So have a look at that, because I think that's actually a really, really good example of how you create, nurture, and entertain an audience as well. What they've also done very successfully, and this is something that doesn't happen overnight, it really does take time and planning to do this, is they've built really personal and relevant communications. So they've built bespoke offers and packages and delivering that to their customers at the right place and the right time. And that's something that we can absolutely learn from when it comes to social media. The right place and the right time is really key to ending up transferring that into sales. I also think that we can learn a lot from celebrities. So look, celebrities have really harnessed the power of social media over the last sort of 10, 15 years. And I think one celebrity in particular that we can learn from is Selena Gomez. So I've called this Unleashing Your Inner Selena Gomez. So whether you like her or not, you can't really argue with the fact that she is one of the most famous stars in the world, particularly for that sort of millennial and Gen Z audience. And she's got one of the largest social followings in the world. So she absolutely knows a thing or two about building a brand and keeping her audience engaged. So how does she do it? Look, she gets really personal. She talks a lot about personal aspects of her life, from mental health to physical health, and she's really true to her values. So we're not suggesting that you need to kind of open up about your deepest, darkest fears, but equally, if you've got personal experience of a destination or a cruise or a ship that you've been on, share that with people, because people want to hear that. You know, people will be much more trusting of you if you can sort of say, oh yeah, I've been to that Greek island and I'd really recommend it. Definitely get off the ship, go to this location. This would be great. People really like it when you're personal with them on social media. She's always relevant. And look, I think when it comes to child stars, it's quite difficult to stay relevant as an adult. And actually, she's done this absolutely fantastically. She's stayed consistent. She's really creative and innovative, and she keeps her fans engaged. She's always thinking about fresh and exciting new content that she can deliver her fans. So this is absolutely something that we need to take on board. Being relevant is so important. Being in the moment, sharing that right content at the right time, and storytelling. I think we can learn a lot from this when it comes up to storytelling, especially in that holiday space. People want to be taken on a journey of dreaming of their next holiday, and we can really do that. She's really consistent in her values, and I think this is a really interesting one. So Selena particularly, you know, she's really consistent when she talks about her business and her personal life and her struggles with mental health. And this set of values really do stay consistent across everything that she does. And actually, I think like any good brand, she's done this. So particularly when we think about attracting that kind of younger audience, so the millennial and the Gen Z, which are going to come up, you know, over the next few years and hopefully come into the cruise market, this audience are really big on values. There's lots of research out there to say that people of this generation particularly will only go to a brand that has the same set of values as them. So we need to be really out there and prominent when it comes to our values and show that through our communications. She engages with her fans, and this is an interesting one, I think, and something that, you know, we should definitely talk about, which is, how do you engage with your fans? As a celebrity, it's much easier to kind of be personal and reach out to people directly. But as a brand, how do you do that? I'll talk about that a little bit in the next section. So I think pulling from Royal Caribbean and how they've won as a brand, looking at celebrities for some influence, what can we learn and how can you take this into your own social media marketing? So being relevant, this is super important. Understand your customer, know who you're talking to, and deliver this content to the right customer on the right platform. choosing the right platform is also really important. So Instagram is really good for sort of like longer videos and lovely pictures and imagery of holidays, getting people excited and probably more in that inspiration phase. Facebook is really good for maybe slightly longer form content when it comes to post writing. So if you're selling a cruise, having the, you know, 799 for a cruise and then the description of the different ports, that's a really good one because people will look for slightly more information on Facebook. And then if you're using TikTok, this is really about bite-sized content delivered at the right place in the right time. TikTok users scroll and then the content is typically gone. So it needs to be really fun, really engaging and short and snappy. And planning your content, which I touched on before, is really important to plan your content so it's delivered at the right place at the right time. And if you do that, it's much more likely to lead to sales. So be consistent. This is really important. So social networks, as I mentioned earlier, are the most common way that people find out about brands and products. So we need to be really consistent in how we're selling our holidays, what the communications look like, what they sound like. So this is really taking that idea of having Royal Caribbean having built a really strong brand and bringing that through into your own socials. As I touched on, holiday research, you know, people are looking more and more at social to research for holidays. This is really important. Tag Oasis of the Seas in your post, because if people are searching Oasis on the Seas, you guys will show up and people will then be more likely to book through you than possibly online. And building trust, this is so important. Build trust between you and your consumer. The more trust you have, ultimately will lead to better sales. And being authentic, this is absolutely something that we can learn from how the celebrities that have done well on social media. So connection, this is why we use social media, because it's got that connection piece. You can be much more authentic and yourself and you know, more real, I suppose, in what you say to people. And be yourself. You know, the more raw and real and authentic content that you've got, the better it is. If you're lucky enough to go on a cruise ship, or as I said, go to one of these destinations, post about it. Tell your audience. If someone posts on a post saying, "Oh, I'd love to go on Anthem of the Seas," and you've been on it, comment and say, DM me for details. I was lucky enough to go on this ship last year, and I can tell you all about it. And then people will reach out. So I think interaction, when it comes to giving that audience more information, is really, really good, especially if you can tap into your own knowledge and experience. And then be inspiring. You know, social media is all about inspiration. Deliver that content that feels really aspirational for people. You know, particularly all of us in Europe, we're having a pretty tough, dark winter. Deliver those beautiful Caribbean images, you know, in the darkest days in January. People really want to see that. And ultimately, you want to convert to booking. So, you know, what people have seen on social media, you want to ultimately have them book with you. So always be sure to kind of tag how people can find out about you and how they can reach out to you. So ultimately you can convert that. And video content, this is really important. And this is something that I'm working with Ahmed at the moment to deliver more video content for you guys. So short, snappy, engaging videos that will ultimately get more impressions. So we're working on this because we really do believe that that is a strong marketing tool for social media. So I'll hand over to Ahmed now just to talk about some of the tools you've got at your disposal.
Thank you, Dave. I mean, it's really inspiring. I mean, to see how social media it could be used, you know, like to gain like visibility, raise awareness only about the brand, the business, your business, how to kind of like get your voice out there, you know, be kind of like speaking directly with your consumers. So it's really, really interesting. And what we have been doing actually for quite some time now is that we are trying to make things kind of like easier for you, trying to provide you with like tools, you know, that you will be able to just like, you know, like shift and lift into your own channels straight. So what we have been doing for some time now is that we have created on a weekly basis, kind of like, and we made it actually part of our weekly newsletter with our partners, different social media posts or content and it's kind of like touching on different things when it comes to the brands. So we have one that is more like tactical, another one that is more about like the brands. Maybe it could be about the shape, it could be like about the destination, or it could be even like about new launches. So in the past, I would say maybe 2 3 weeks, we have been focusing our content very much about, of course, the arrival of Icon. Like more content about like whether it is the arrival in Miami, the inaugural sailing that's coming up. Um, and we tend to do like we try to do like around 2 3 posts every week. We provide them also like as a clean version, so it's like you really don't have to do um, kind of like use like Adobe Suite like or Photoshop or something if you don't know how to use it, or if you don't have it. So you can just literally just plug it straight into your channels. Um, and we also provide the captions for all these posts as well. So again, it's something that you can just translate. You don't have to put it on the image or the video. You can just put it in the caption in the post, and you can just post the image itself. We are also providing for different sizes. So this is kind of like it's mainly catering for like different channels. So whether you're using like I don't know, like Instagram story, like or Facebook post, you can definitely utilize on both channels as well. And yeah, we provide also like some hashtags as well. Like Bex was just mentioning now, like tagging is it's huge. So when you are tagging something, it kind of like increases your visibility. So if you're tagging like Oasis of the Sea somebody, or like you're tagging Icon and somebody went on Instagram and they are searching for Icon, so you could come out there. So it's kind of like gaining more visibility and more reach for your channels as well. Just to give you like some little examples about like what I'm talking about. So this is, for example, this is like a destination post. So this is like one of like an example of like a post that we'll be sharing with you about, for example, the West Med Oasis class cruise out of Barcelona or out of Rome. So it's kind of like touching on the different ports of call for the ship or for this itinerary. Then we have another one which is more about tactical. So this is literally just kind of like very much talking about like a specific sailing, a specific ship. And with this kind of like you are, how can I say, you are opening kind of like a line of discussion with your consumers because you are sharing a specific ship or an itinerary. And this is when they will start becoming more specific. So they will be asking you, like, for example, when is this happening? Like, or when is this sailing happening? And you're gonna be like, it's gonna be okay. It's May to October 24, and they're gonna start okay. Like, what about the prices? And this is when you start creating leads to your business, and then this is when you can start having like a DM or like private discussions with them when they're gonna be starting asking about the prices and all that. So this is kind of like it's also like a tool of creating leads and opening business with your followers as well. Then we have something that Bex just mentioned. It's kind of like videos are always great, and what is really good about videos is literally just bringing the brand into life. And this is what we have been trying to do like lately. We're just focusing very much about videos. And as you can see the video that's playing now, and what we've been trying to do actually is that we are not using a lot of like, we try actually to avoid using like supers or like copy. So this one, because this one, I think we did it like maybe probably yeah. So I mean, the new videos that we've been creating, actually, we are avoiding to add any supers. So, for example, the new video will not be showing sailing from Barcelona and Rome in 2024 because, like, for example, if you are in like an English-speaking country, that's absolutely fine. But if you are like, I don't know, if you are in Hungary, if you are in Germany, if you are in Italy, you don't want the English copy. So what we're trying to do now actually is that instead of this English supers or copy, we just use the logo. So we just use the logo, and then actually we give you the chance actually to use the caption in your own language. So it's kind of like it makes it much easier for you, like I mentioned, just kind of like lift and shift the content straight into your channels. We are working very hard actually to kind of like keep on like the flow of videos, just to make sure that you have, as much videos as you want. And of course, the videos, they are very much in line with what's happening with the brand. Like I mentioned, okay, we have now the arrival of Icon. So we are creating a lot of content for this as well. Today we have the naming ceremony. So it would be great, just if you have time, it's going to be a fantastic event. We will have a lot of guests on board. So it's happening at I believe it's 5:30 Miami time. So if you have the time, please go in, and if you are following Royal Caribbean social channels, you will see all the links is being shared as well. I think it was shared last night. So yeah, I believe it's going to be a fantastic event, and I'm going to be creating content out of this as well. I'm going to be sharing with you to share through your channels as well. And Bex, do you have anything else from your side?
I think that's it really. Yeah, I would just say my advice to you is social is a really fantastic platform, and you can be more personal and more direct to your customer. So use it for what it is. And ultimately, we are selling a holiday brand, which is really exciting. And social really lends itself to holiday brands because you can be really aspirational and, get people tempted with that next holiday. So I would just say, use the content that we send out. If there's specific things that you need, or if you think that, there's videos that we're possibly not making, let us know, and me and Ahmed can work together and, start creating content that you think would be possibly better. So yeah, we're sort of up for working with you guys to making sure that you've got everything that you need, basically.
Thank you. So I think we have 5 minutes. I don't know if you have any questions or any thoughts. I know Alex, he is also on the panel. I think he is taking questions or answering questions. Unfortunately, I can't see the questions from here. But yeah, I mean, or otherwise, please, I mean, like, should any questions, you can send it to us. More than happy to provide you with any insights or any more information that you would need. Alex. Okay. Thank you, Alex. Okay, no, amazing. Thank you so much for your time. It has been really a pleasure to have you all. I hope you enjoyed the session. I would just remind you of the very nice program that we have lined up for you. We have different training sessions or different sessions that are gonna be touching on like different subjects. So next one up, it is on the 25th of January about the Royal Suites programs, and then we have after that several sessions for you. So this is just a reminder for these amazing sessions for you to join. Amazing. Thank you so much. Thank you very much.
And we'll circulate the presentation so you've got it so you can look back on it as well.
Thank you so much. Speak to you soon. Bye. Bye.